From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, February 13th, 2016. Silver is trading at $15.76 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,238 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $390. Antiwar.com reports after Thursday's ceasefire agreement on Syria, a lot of media outlets are expressing surprise that fighting is continuing and pointing to continued Russian airstrikes. The deal, however, does not take effect for another week. The negativity towards the deal and the effort to single out Russia actually are reflecting closely to what U.S.-backed rebel factions are saying, as they insist the deal will never work out and complain about the terms of the pact. Rebels expressed particular annoyance that Russia is allowed to continue its air campaign at all, even with the deal limiting them to airstrikes against the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front. It would have been unthinkable, however, for the ceasefire deal to oblige an end to attacks on the Islamic State. Analysts are noting that there are a lot of questions about how the deal is structured, but as the first serious attempt to end the protracted Syrian civil war, it is in somewhat uncharted territory, with many of the rebels still irked by the notion of a peace deal that doesn't include unilaterally installing them as the new government. It's unsurprising they aren't totally on board. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the U.S. House of Representatives on Friday approved new punitive measures against North Korea for the communist nation's recent actions of perceived aggression by a near-unanimous vote. The House passed H.R. 757, the North Korea Sanctions Enforcement Act, by a vote of 408 to 2 on Friday and sent it to President Obama's desk, where the White House said he will sign it. The bill seeks to penalize entities or individuals who aid Pyongyang in nuclear trade or human rights abuse issues. The legislation, introduced by Representative Edward Royce of California, also earmarks $10 million per year to provide humanitarian aid to refugees and increase access to media for citizens, a measure intended to allow North Korean citizens an uncensored and unrestricted voice to express grievances against the Kim Jong-un regime. The Senate passed the North Korea Sanctions Enforcement Act on Wednesday by a vote of 96-0, meaning the only lawmakers in either chamber to oppose the bill are Representatives Justin Amash of Michigan and Thomas Macy from Kentucky. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $3 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports U.S. immigration authorities violated their own rules by telling some of the 121 Central American women and children they arrested in raids last month that they had no legal recourse to dispute their deportations, according to several of the women and their lawyers. The accusations center on the January 2nd through 4th raids that were the U.S. administration's first large-scale operation since mid-2014 to deport hundreds of families who crossed the southern border illegally. 4 of the women, 3 of them in statements to Reuters through their lawyers, and one in an interview with Reuters, said that ICE agents had misled them on their rights to legal counsel while they were detained at a detention facility in Dilley, Texas. ICE, which oversees deportation operations, denied that its officers told the women they had no legal recourse in their case. Under U.S. law, immigrants are guaranteed access to a lawyer even if they have to be given a deportation order. In practice, many cannot afford a lawyer or are caught in a backlog of cases seeking a pro bono lawyer. The women were among 35 people who received an emergency hold on their deportations from the Justice Department and who are now seeking asylum. Dozens of women and children detained in the raids were deported from January 4th through January 7th. The 4 women said they never received the legal rights presentation that ICE says it provides. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.